too many years teaching, so I can yes. So I try to share with you some ideas dealing with the urban cycle water. Two challenges, two visions, because we've got a particular vision in this room, but there are other visions, I think. I try to transmit to you this other one. So only a small amount of wastewater is reused for irrigation. That stands for 2% in Europe, in Africa, a little bit higher in Asia, but in general, very small recovery for irrigation. And what about the water reuse for drinking purposes? Only in very few cities, mostly in the United States, California, some of them in Australia, some of them in Spain, but very few reuse the water for drinking purposes. So there are some special programs like the program in California or even more in Singapore, in which more than 50% of this new water will be obtained after regeneration. What happens in cities? So that's the situation in our cities. This is not my city, but it's almost my city because I'm very familiar with by films and so on. So we have developed along the years several technologies, more efficient in terms of energy consumption. For example, aerobic membrane bioreactors, they produce a better quality effluents. Also, this anaerobic membrane bioreactor that we developed together with Agua and also with the SAMUR, both here in the room. But also the Anamox reactors, we have for nitrogen reduction. We developed it with Equalia, also here. But what about the aerobic granular sludge reactor and obviously advanced control? That means that we've got some special tools for enhancing our efficiency to perform our work more with less energy, but also we can recover things. For example, we can recover phosphate, as in this project, as in this provide, we recover with, we have developed this project with Equalia, Jose showed it this morning, but also the thermal hydrolysis in order to obtain better results in the gasification, in the biomethanation, and of course, this transformation of biogas in biomethane could be a revolution. In some countries like Denmark, more than 50% of natural gas is being replaced by this biomethane. And what about water reuse? You know that there are two strategies for water reuse, the direct and the indirect. The indirect potable reuse, that means that we need an environmental buffer. In the second one, in the direct potable reuse, so after the wastewater treatment, there is a system, a technological system, just producing the drinking water. So it seems almost the same, but it's not the same. And in terms of legal conditions, it's completely different. You will see. For that, we've got also efficient tools. Granular activated sludge, all the systems of membrane, filtration, ultrafiltration, UV disinfection, ozonation, very useful for increase the quality of this regenerated wastewater. Those technologies have been used in a special case here in Spain, in Barcelona, in which 60% of the water is regenerated for drinking water, for drinking purposes, which is, I think, is the most successful experience in Europe with regenerating water. That has been done by Aguas de Barcelona. I think that Ruben will present this on detail. You know the concept of TRL, the technological readiness level. So that means that when we are in the highest level, we are prepared to put in the market a technology. But this readiness level is not only technological. So when considering nutrient recovering and energy recovering, we've got technologies. We've got technologies of a quite high level, at absolutely in the level 9 for phosphorus, perhaps a little bit lower for nitrogen, and definitively completely commercial and energy level. But what about the social readiness level? is the society acceptance is sufficient to put in case of the phosphorus, in Spain, at least in Europe, you are very reluctant. Actually, in most part of Europe, is not used, the struvite, for agricultural purposes. And what about nitrogen? It's more or less the same. However, the energy is very well accepted. There is not any risk, so the citizens doesn't feel any risk with health and so on. But there is a third readiness level, which is the legal. And the legal, we are at a very low level. When concerning in phosphorus, in Spain is forbidden, the use is forbidden. Forbidden. In Italy is forbidden. In most parts of Europe is forbidden, the struvite. What about nitrogen? Again, the use of nitrogen in recovering nitrogen for purposes, for irrigation purposes, is forbidden. And what about energy? Energy, no problem, again. So let's consider the three readiness levels: the technological, the social, and the legal. And perhaps the barrier are not in the technical, in the technological point. Perhaps is the legal point, which is nowadays is our main barrier. And what about water reclamation? Well, in that case, we are, in the case of indirect reclamation, more or less we are in the social and legal level, more or less, but when dealing with direct reclamation, the society is very reluctant. And definitively, the legal aspect is really absolutely a barrier, at least here in Europe. Well, this is the situation in our cities, but you know that there are other world. And actually, one of the ODS of the United Nations is clean water and sanitation. There are a lot of people without sanitation, without safe water. This is an example. Jodhpur is the blue city. It's one selected example, a very nice city in India. It's an example of rapidly growing cities in the global south. So you see that the population increased exponentially. Have we got solutions for them? Are the solutions we are developing for our cities applicable to them? And perhaps we should think a different way. Because these fast-growing areas probably require other strategy, other fishery strategy. In many of them, they've got a part, an area which is served. But so the city is growing every day. So how to face this challenge? Perhaps there are other options. There are centralization, decentralization. So perhaps for the global south, we should think about this. So the new infrastructures that perhaps should be different, something different that we are currently running in our cities. This is the centralized system in which just a single plant controls everything. It's heavy, it's slow to get moving. So the infrastructure is very, very, very strong. However, the decentralized system is nimble, is frugal and speedy. So perhaps this strategy could be a better option for the global south, in which it has other advantages. The first is that it's staged growth, so you can develop stagedly. The second is that the technology is agnostic. You can apply different technologies in different situations. The third is that the resilience is increasing, so can fail one plant, one of the plants can fail and not the others. And finally, the flows, water flows are minimized. So there are some advantages for decentralization or distributed systems. So we have done here in our world, we have developed with Equalia a decentralized system here in Vigo, and also we have participated in some projects, like for example Jörg refers before, the Helsingborg Ocean in the Rome for Life project that was led by Equalia. But this is very sophisticated systems. But is this suitable for the global south? Perhaps not. Perhaps remember that the Gates initiative to reinvent the toilet has
led to 25 breakthrough technology. So it's now the moment to put them in the market. And actually, I think that the Bill Gates Foundation is not funding new research. It's just funding development, conventional development. We've got intelligent septic tanks. We've got other alternatives that perhaps can be useful for reaching the needs required for the Global South. So a different strategy, perhaps we should think differently. We've got 3 options: stay in lane, we can improve our technologies, we can try harder, but perhaps we can shift the paradigm. And in that case, perhaps it's the moment to think about that. Thank you.